I used to love Instagram. It just felt like a cozy little place that I could share what I had made and connect with other people and just be myself. But then over time, gradually things just started to feel a little bit off and I stopped using it as much. And I'd like that to change. Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Kim. This is the Coffee and Craft Chat. I drink coffee. I have no room in my office. I sometimes do craft. I probably won't be crafting today because the knitting needles make too much of a noise. But this is my current craft. Ugh. I'm knitting a cardigan and I've just finished one sleeve and I'm on to the next one and then it'll be done. And I will, of course, share my progress, but I know some people have been asking about the cardigan. It's ongoing. Shh. Anyway, and yes, and the chat part of the Coffee and Craft Chat is where I talk about anything to do with running a handmade business. And today it's Instagram. We're going to sort of switch direction a little bit because I think I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm currently working on a sort of chunkier video, which I'm hoping to share with you in a few weeks. I'm trying to be more strategic and mindful about some of the things that I do to try and bring in more sales. So it's a bit of a, no, I'm not going to say the word, pivoting. I'm not pivoting. I'm just tightening things up. There we go. It's fine. Don't panic. And one of those things that I was going to do was I wanted to lean into TikTok. Don't worry. I came to my senses. I realised that as a user, I tend to feel not very good when I come off the platform. I really need to just delete the app. But I either feel angry or just like my anxiety levels go through the roof and it's not a good platform to be on. For me, for my mental health. So, I mean, it might work brilliantly for other people. And if you are people like my husband who can just see all sorts of stuff and not absorb it, brilliant. I'm not one of those people. So it doesn't make sense for me to use it as a tool to promote my business when I don't feel good when I'm on the platform. I don't feel that way when I'm on Instagram. It has changed. I did fall out of love with it a little bit, as I said at the start of this video, but I don't feel the same anger or like knot of tension as I feel elsewhere. So I maybe instead of that platform, I focus on Instagram. Okay, so where to begin? Let's set the scene. Sorry, just a little bit of fluff just drifted in my face. I could have just ignored it, you wouldn't have seen it, but okay. Backstory. You know when Instagram first started and it had those really sort of cigarette stained heavy filters and people were just posting pictures of goodness knows what? That was when it got my attention. Not to give my age away or anything, but I remember Instagram when it had the cool logo. And it was a really great place to connect with people. And I've connected with so many people through it over the years. And it just felt good. It was a great place to not just share your outfits or what you ate for dinner, just what interested you, what lit you up, and any work that you did. And it just felt so wholesome. And at one point, when I think I was on Twitter at the time, this is when Twitter was starting to turn into a bit of a cesspool, X, whatever it's called now. And I just remember, and Facebook too, actually, and I just remember that Instagram felt like a nice little cozy haven from all of that. And it did for a long time. Not only did I post there almost every single day, but I would be constantly checking for updates on my friends and stuff because, I've been chronically online since online was a thing, or at least for me anyway. And I remember when stories came out and there was reluctance to embrace them, including from me. And then I realised what they were all about and I've been using stories ever since. It was just a normal place. It felt normal and you could post really aesthetically pleasing sort of magazine quality pictures, or you could post the mundane, and there was a beautiful mix of the two. And it was almost as if people used it to promote their businesses, but also on a more personal level, the two coexisted together. And it was a nice place. I liked it. The vibe was good. And I think over time it changed, which is natural. This happens with every platform, the internet as a whole. It's just what happens. But Instagram became harder to get seen on, whereas before it was quite organic. Most of these changes happened when Facebook bought it, They were Facebook then, obviously they are Meta now. And the pressure was on to produce content and certain types of content in order to get seen. And for a lot of us, it feels more today like we are creating content for the sake of creating content to please the algorithm gods rather than making content that we think our community will like. I do feel like when I first started posting on Instagram, we got the balance wrong in that, yes, we were posting a lot of personal stuff and it felt more personal and it felt, cozier and stuff. But I do think maybe we posted too much. I do feel like we've gone to the other extreme now where people won't post anything unless it's sort of promotional work or something that's made for the algorithm that can be easily shared, etc., etc. But Instagram still has its part to play though. People still do spend time on there. The way they use the platform has definitely changed. For example, the lower engagement. And you could argue that that's maybe the TikTok effect as well. Now that we have so much more content and short form content, it's like it's built for the endless scroll. So that habit of slowing down and pausing to like and leave a comment and all of the things, it's not there anymore. It's now, everything seems to be designed to just be like mindlessly scrolling through. So as a result, it seems fairly natural, I guess, that we're not engaging as much. Which is also probably why I'm seeing normal engagement on platforms like YouTube, where the long form, it's a very different kind of content. People do slow down and absorb it a bit more. So the connection is still there. And I don't want to lose that. I still value it. I still have a soft spot in my heart for Instagram and I don't want to give up on it. Plus, I do already use it to promote my business as well. So why bother putting all of my effort into another platform when I could just focus on the one that I already have and find a way to inject more fun into it again. That's the plan. And the way that I decided to use Instagram changed a while ago. I didn't like the stress that I felt over the pressure to post all of the time, even if I had nothing to say. So I simply stopped. Now I do want to at least acknowledge that I kind of had the ability to do that because I had YouTube to fall back on. If my business was built on Instagram, it wouldn't be as easy as to go, oh, well, I'm just not going to post today because I don't want to. If your business is on Instagram and is reliant on Instagram, it's not as easy as just going, well, I'm just going to post whatever I want to post. So I just want to acknowledge that because I don't want to make it sound that I am just flippantly doing whatever I want. I'm doing this because I can, and that's kind of, I have an advantage there. So just putting that out there. But as well as not posting every single day, or even when I had something to say, or when I just felt bleh and didn't want to get my face behind the camera, I also started doing things like when Instagram gave the option to turn off likes so that they weren't sort of public, I immediately jumped on that because I think for me that was an obstacle that got in the way. I didn't want to post because it used to bug me that I could post a pretty sort of, at the time, flat lays were kind of popular, and I could take time and make a frou-frou little flat lay of something that just looked the same as all of the others, and it would get a lot of engagement, and then I'd post something that I'd made that meant a lot to me and it'd go, nobody wanted to look at it, and I was like, hey! So turning off the likes was more for me than anything else. It was to get out of my head about what other people liked and didn't like and whether or not I was getting enough and stuff. And I hated the fact that I cared so much about such a vanity metric, but I did. I'm only human, I guess. So I turned them off, and I did find that it gave me the freedom to start posting what I wanted to a bit more. And then more recently, I started posting pictures that had nothing to do with my business. It was just a little idea that I had of getting like a photograph and sticking some text over it, or like a little element, making it a bit more collagey, I guess. And I still want to do more of that than I currently am, but time has been a thing. And just posting random ones like that. I'll put a picture here of one that I did recently, for no other reason than I just wanted to. And I did think it would be fun to make a little, print them off and to make a little zine that I could stick in orders as a freebie. But again, that just stayed in my head as an idea. But it was these little creative and fun ideas that had no there was no reason for them. It wasn't to monetize, it wasn't to promote my work, it was just for fun, for creation, for me. So if you do follow me on Instagram, you probably will see more of those in the not too distant future. So basically, I'm not trying to beat the algorithm or hack the algorithm or make it work for me or anything. I'm just trying to show up as me on the platform again in a way that feels fun, in a way that makes me want to be on the platform, and find a way of doing that I can also showcase my work, because again, that's what that that account is supposed to be for. So it's finding that balance. And I'm actually more excited about this than I was about trying to start on TikTok and promote myself there. No. So this is what I'm planning to do instead. I'm going to continue doing all of the things that I've just said, only posting when I have something to say, hiding the likes so I don't get all up in the analytics, avoiding the analytics. I already have to worry about YouTube analytics. I don't want more numbers to stress myself with. And then alongside those, I also want to just maybe treat the grid as a bit of a gallery of my items. I've already kind of lent into this. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll put it here in case you don't, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. Ignore the blank wall there. I don't know if you can see it, bit of a tangent here, but I'm doing a bit of DIY, so all of my stuff has been taken down for a little bit. Anywho, what was I actually saying? That was a hard left. Oh yes, picture, here you go. I've added some highlights. Not groundbreaking. Highlights have been a thing for the longest time, but I just wanted to make it really easy for people, anyone who finds my stuff and wants to buy anything, they can see what's available. So if you click on that highlight that says shop now, whatever I chose, the only items in there are the ones that are actually available, and they have a link to the shop to each item, and then as they sell I will take them down. And then obviously I've got another one for customer photos, because that's a thing that I've been meaning to do for the longest time too. And it's just basically for anybody who's interested in buying my work, making it easy for them as possible, whilst at the same time not making the account solely about it. Just adding a little bit of fun there for community, and which is a link to the next thing that I want to do. I want to use Instagram as a little, is touch base the right phrase? I want it to be a way to connect with my community in between videos on YouTube, is what I'm trying to say. And the other thing that I want to use it for, and I'm really excited about this one, I want to use it more to sort of tease my upcoming collections and shop updates. And I'm working on one now, and it's different to what I've done in the past because I have more time to do it. But I talked about this on the membership video that's going up on Friday, so if you remember, keep an eye out for that. But when you have an artist like Taylor Swift or Olivia Rodrigo, when they have an album that they're launching, they make a whole build-up of it. There's colours, there's outfits, there's little elements and pictures and Easter eggs, and it just becomes a whole thing. I love that. I want to somehow inject a little bit of that excitement and build up and storytelling into my own collections. Now, I've never done anything like this before, so I'm not sure how to do it, but it's going to be very visual, and I think Instagram is perfect. A perfect platform for that. So I'm going to be using it more for that too. And I think that will work well for both sides, the promoting my business, but also for people who are there for community and for fun, because I don't listen to Taylor Swift or Olivia Rodrigo. I listen to the latter a little bit because my daughter does, but I don't buy their music. I'm not really their target audience, but I get swept up in the build-up nonetheless. And I think other people can as well. So whether you're there for my work or not, it doesn't matter. You can still enjoy it. I love that. I love it. But I think I bored the members about this very thing in the video that's going up on Friday. Which reminds me, I'll get back to this in a second, but quickly, for members of this channel, you may have seen last week that I was posting random videos. Those are the videos, the big chunky videos of the content that I made for Patreon. I ended up... won't get into it, but I ended up properly closing Patreon, so it's not even available for one-off purchases of anything now. It's gone. But if anybody still wanted to see that work, it's over on the channel membership, and if you are a member, that's what those videos are of. If you want to watch them, you can. They're very YouTube heavy because my Patreon was all about running a YouTube channel for your handmade business. So all of the videos are about that. So they may not be everyone's cup of tea, that's fine, but I just wanted to put them up there, and they're there if you want it, basically. Keep an eye out for those. I wasn't supposed to be talking about that. How did we get here? That's the trouble. If I think of something and I'm like, oh, I need to remind someone about that, it has to be immediately, otherwise I'll forget again. Anyway, another hard left. Where was I? Storytelling. That's it. Teasing the collections and stuff. Instagram will be perfect for that. And carousels. This is something that I realised, because I noticed that a lot of people on Instagram were all of a sudden posting long, like, carousels of photos, but there were lots of photos, and there was writing on them and everything, and I was like, why is this all of a sudden a trend? Where's this come from? I wasn't mad about it. I love it. So if you are someone that has started doing this, I am one of those people that have been clicking through and yeah, all of the things, because I love that content. And if you are someone, as I say, who makes that content, keep doing it. Just for me. But I want to start doing that too. I just love that content. I love the fact that it gives you the opportunity to, again, storytelling. And it can be not just about your business or about a product. It can be about behind the scenes, or even just a little bit. I don't know. I just think the possibilities are endless, and that's another a piece of content that I think that I could make. We're getting to the point where words are getting hard. Okay. It's the kind of content that doesn't feel like there's a big obstacle in the way. I don't always have to get myself together. I don't have to perform. It just feels easier to make, and it feels like there's more scope for creativity. Is that the truth? That's just how it feels to me. But I'm really excited to do some of those as well. And if you yourself use Instagram, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Like, have you also noticed that the vibe has changed slightly on Instagram? And how are you trying to counteract that and to keep it fun for you, whilst at the same time knowing that you do have to play to the algorithm a little bit? I mean, as I said before at the beginning of this video, I kind of have the advantage that it's not my main platform, so I can take my foot off the gas a little bit with that. But you know, I'm not going to sort of go, oh, people shouldn't pander to the algorithm, because I pander to an algorithm. It's just not an Instagram one, it's a YouTube one. Yeah, so I get it, I do get it. But that is also why I would like to hear your thoughts, because I don't feel like I am an Instagram professional. Does such a thing even exist? I don't utilize it. Were those... Oh, the starlings are back! Oh God, they're flying away too quick. I can't... There's no point me spinning you around. They've gone. Oh, but they're back. Okay, call it. What's the date? Where's my phone? It is Wednesday, the 1st of October. The starlings are back. Right, that was probably the third and hopefully last hard left of this video. This is what happens when you film videos right in front of your garden and it's beautiful and it's full of distractions. What was I saying this time? I think I was trying to wrap up this video, so I'm just going to wrap it up now. But basically, if you have any thoughts on Instagram, let me know. Let's have a chat about it, because I think Instagram is a big platform for handmade sellers, and it just feels a little bit better than some of the other ones out there, despite it changing. Maybe I'm being nostalgic, maybe I'm being naive, I don't know. I would like to just inject more of the old fun and coziness back into it. And if you are also trying to do the same, I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, I'll stop yapping at you now, and I'll see you again next week. Ta-ra.